This year's Professional Development for All theme is building and sustaining powerful partnerships with families. Powerful partnerships require trust. That's where we will begin this first of 3 PD for All sessions. Trusting partnerships take time and a shared commitment between families, early childhood educators, and communities. Each person involved in a child's life brings a valuable perspective that contributes to a child's well-being and success. Given the importance of these relationships to children's learning and development, how can early childhood professionals build trusting family-school partnerships? Over the course of this video, we will answer 3 key questions about why family partnerships are an essential part of supporting young children. We will also hear from 3 Omaha-area early educators who will share their experiences and practical strategies for building trust with families. Honest, caring, and compassionate conversations with a child's family help promote information sharing that caregivers and teachers can use to inform the care and support they provide to children. Trusting relationships with families help bridge children's experiences between childcare or school and home, and foster children's sense of belonging in the early education setting. Early childhood educators communicate an important message when they seek families' views and collaborate with them. This helps parents and families understand that their values and their concerns about the learning and development of their child matter. Teachers' caring relationships with family members help children feel safe and comfortable. Research indicates that meaningful engagement of families in their children's early learning supports school readiness and later academic success. Strengthening partnerships with families during the early years, especially with families from diverse backgrounds, can help children better succeed in school. Over time, it can help to address the opportunity gap that exists for too many children today. When we nurture trusting relationships with families, they can often become more effective advocates for their children and stay engaged throughout a child's education. When early childhood programs and schools build trusting, open, and collaborative relationships with families and genuinely seek their input, families receive the message that their opinions count, and they play a key role in their child's development and learning. What does it look like to build trust with families? Where do you start? We've asked 3 local early childhood educators to share their experiences building trust with the families they serve.
My name is Helen Evans-Hicks, and I am the home visitor for Sandals Elementary School in Millard Public Schools. I think one of the first things I like to do as I'm getting to know a family is really just to ask them about their story, to listen to the family and listen to understand better their family dynamic, to hear their stories about their childhood, to ask them more about their culture, understanding where the family is, what's important to them, what their values are. All of those are driving forces in terms of then creating best strategies for their child's learning.
My name is Rocio Silva. I am a first grade dual language teacher at Liberty Elementary in Omaha, Nebraska. I've been teaching early childhood for about 21 years. Build a relationship with parents, it's very important. School goes hand to hand with home, so if you have a great relationship with your parents, your students are gonna be successful. I'm originally from Peru, and I'm able to speak with most of my students' parents in my language. We have the same culture, we are Latinos, and that helps me to connect with my families.
I am Ashley Carlock. I am the proud owner of Blessed Are They Learning Center, and I've been in early childhood right at 18 years, so I've been doing it for a little while. I feel like the most important thing that I could ever really do for my parents is to let them know that they're not walking this journey out by themselves. And I feel like a lot of the times you feel like you're doing it by yourself and that nobody gets it, that nobody understands. Sometimes people just need somebody to be there to get it, to understand, to listen. I guess just kind of be that support and the encouragement that somebody might need.
At Sandoz, one really wonderful thing I think that's come out of us diving deeper into what does family engagement look like, what does partnerships with families look like, is a group that we created last year called a belonging group. And then really that came out of a sense of urgency from families to feel heard. We started in the spring of 2020, and at the time we were Zooming, so we had a Zoom panel just offering families an opportunity to talk with each other. Forging peer connections and relationships is so vital, I think, in having, building that school community. So in having our parent panel, some of the things that came out of that were just wanting to feel like I belong in the school, wanting to feel like I see myself, I see my children see themselves within the school, that we see our language, our culture incorporated in the school, that when we walk through the doors, Sandoz feels like our school, our place, and it doesn't just feel like four walls.
Sometimes being able to support a family or a parent, maybe like in their business, if they're doing something in the community, showing up, showing your support, and investing into what they're doing, just like they're investing in what you're doing. And I feel like that sometimes is a doorway or a pathway to, again, showing that you care about them more than just them being a client or somebody that pays you money.
I think the advice I would offer for a teacher who's looking to strengthen relationships with families is just be open and talk with your families. The families, I think we get so excited about the children that come into the classroom, but when we recognize these children are an extension of the parents or their primary caregivers or the families that they're coming from, and understanding that they're just as excited to hear about their children's day and their children's learning, just reaching out to them by a phone call or by walking up to them and introducing yourself in person, getting to know those families most definitely strengthens the relationship that the child will have in the classroom and their success in the classroom.
What my parents love me to do is that I send them pictures or videos of what we do in school. If we have a project, while they do their project, I make pictures and I send them to them. Or if my kids are learning to read, when somebody can read a whole book or a story, I send a video just to that mom. And parents are so happy because they know that their kids are learning. That's something that I love to do because communication with parents, it's a key. And if the parents know what their kids are doing here, they will trust in you and they will say, oh, they are learning. She's teaching them.
Families are waiting. They just want to have you reach out and say, hey, I hear you, or you know what, I value you, or I want to get to know you more. And it means so much to hear from that teacher. So just reach out, just talk with families. And if there's a barrier with language, I mean, there's so many resources that are available to be able to bridge that gap. Because we hear that oftentimes too, unfortunately, families who English is not their first language, that there feels like there's a disconnect, but there doesn't have to be. And there's many ways of reaching out, even if it is through a language line, but just helping families feel that they're tied in and they're connected because they are their child's first teacher. So feeling that they're honored in that role is so important. So just reach out.
We hope this video has provided helpful information about the importance of developing trust with families. We also hope you were able to take away at least one strategy that you can put into action to build trust with families. Establishing trusting relationships helps foster a sense of belonging in children. When a teacher has caring relationships with family members, the links between the home and the early care and education setting help children feel safe and comfortable. When we nurture trusting relationships with families and other primary caregivers at home, it supports their efforts to become more effective advocates for their children. Over time, these strengthened partnerships can help to reduce the impact of opportunity gaps so that children can reach their full potential. Thank you for watching the first video in our series about building and sustaining powerful partnerships with families. If you are interested in engaging more deeply with other early childhood professionals and families about building and sustaining trust, we invite you to join us for our first Twitter chat on February 2nd at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Follow the Buffett Institute on social media and visit the PD for All page on our website for news and updates. A special thank you to the learning community of Douglas and Sarpy counties for their support of the Buffett Institute and the PD for All series. And thank you for all you do in support of young children and families.